Hey, Cornbread review off the bat, bro.
You might not like my review then, man. Yeah, so all in all, man, I ended up coming up 2.5 out of 5. Two of them things.
Yo.
5 out of 5 cornbreads for the cornbread review. What you think?
Yo, welcome back for another episode of Cornbread Movie Review. And if this is the first time you watching me, thank you. First off, I appreciate it. But welcome to the family, man. We all Cornbread family in here, man. So if this is first time, like I said, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on and then turn it on all so you get all my content. Because I'll be dropping movie reviews, TV show reviews. I might drop top fives here and there. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I appreciate you all. Even if you've been with me from day one. Thank you. Bro, you rock with me, I rock with you. Appreciate it. Now, I'm here for another movie review. Come on, man. I told you, every week I'm hitting y'all. And today we are going to discuss Kingsman. Yes, the movie is called Kingsman. It is rated R. I think it's only in theaters, so no subscription-based movie. And this is a goodie. We'll get into it. Now, this movie is the third installment of the Kingsman trilogy, but it's a prequel, and we'll get into all the nitty-gritty. And y'all know, ain't nothing changed. I got 5 categories for y'all, 5 of them. Acting, cinematography, storytelling. Did I get what I bought, and is it a must-see? The best you can get is a 5 out of each category. I add them up, and it spits out a number. You know, the new basketball animation. Hopefully y'all love that. And then we're going to see how much Cornbread Movie Review, where it ranks at for the 2022 list. So, once again, we're watching Kingsman. First category is acting. Who is in this movie? Ralph Fiennes. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. Y'all know me, man. Hey, that's why you see the picture and the name, just in case I mess it up. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry, but I could only be me, man. So this guy plays the dad and the starter of the Kingsman. He was the originator from it. He's respected across the country, or at least definitely across multiple countries. He's with it. He's with the shits. He's ready to go at it all times. But as the story goes on, and we'll get into it, I mean, he's also a father. He also a widower, and we'll get into all the good, bad, and ugly of this movie. But he has to play different roles throughout the couple of years that you see him. So good job by him. Also in this movie is Harris Dickinson. Now, he plays the son. He has to deal with a couple things. He wants to fight for his rights, wants to fight for his country. He wants to be his own man and stand up for who the world has made him. And he wants to use his tools to assist different things. So he plays a pretty solid job. I don't think nobody dropped the ball at all in acting. It was great to see the father and son dynamic on this, especially dealing with the loss of life, and we'll get into what happened. But it was just mediocre, and mediocre isn't bad. You know, we see a lot of movies, especially on, I review a lot of movies. So if you're mediocre, that's good. You're not gonna win the awards, but then again, you ain't, shit the bed either. So mediocre acting, even for the cast. A lot of people just had short cameos here, there, a couple lines, but it wasn't seamless. You really see these two actors throughout the whole movie. So overall, acting for me gets a 3.5. And like I said, that's not bad. But in certain areas, they could have did better. I think they really tackled the loss pretty well, grieving. They tackled that, but in the fighting, and we'll get into that. But other categories of acting, they just didn't do it well. So 3.5 on acting for me. Now, next category, cinematography. Kingsman, all 3 movies, they always do well in cinematography. The fight scenes, what? Come on, man. The fight scenes are A1. A1 from day one. Good job on that. Hand-to-hand combat, the choreography, all that, sublime. I loved it. Now, this movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes. And the budget was about $104 million. So certain areas, it's kind of like a period piece. So they took you back to the time of the 1900s, in which we'll get into that too. They took you back to that time. So the clothes look the part, the planes, some of the lingo, I'm gonna have to fact check them on a couple things too, but they bring you back to that period piece. Now, where they had a problem is certain scenes didn't make sense, right? Like you can't be on a mountain and then you're about to fall off and then now you are parkour and all this other stuff and get extra boosts when you jump like you Mario or something like that. Like certain, come on, man. I'm following with y'all on this realism on how you guys are handling certain scenes, but then the other ones start going to CGI and green screen and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. You don't get points for that. I also like, one thing I did like is how they was in a sword fight and they put the cameras on the end of the sword. So you kind of see from that perspective of somebody having their hand out and you see the sword and them hitting it and trying to defend. So I really enjoyed that. That was a little twist and that was a little different. You do get points for cinematography going across all three movies, right? This was filmed, at least they had like the same house, the same table from the different movies, especially from the first one to this third one, even though it's a prequel. Good job on keeping that cinematography intact and that cohesiveness. I really enjoy that. The battle scene and when they're at war, I'm not gonna give you obviously spoilers, but I can give you everything. The battle scene when they're at war at night, what? Edge of my seat. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Love that scene. So for me, they always do pretty well, like I said, the Kingsman series and cinematography. So for me, they get a 4 out of 5 in that category. 4 out of 5, okay? Next category, storytelling. Now, like I said, this movie is a prequel, and it's a big gap prequel. This movie takes place in 1902. 1902, and then it picks up at 1914. So we'll get into if that's good or bad and what Cornbread's thinking about that. Now, the first movie, Kingsman, did come out in 2014. So even though that was the first one, they took bits and pieces from that movie and used it for the prequel. So I really enjoyed that. Good job on writing in that aspect. Send-off of the year. Come on, bro. Like, you have a sniper. This is the one spoiler I'm gonna give you. This kicks off, I'm not spoiling anything, it kicks off the movie. You have a sniper shooting at just people, trying to assassinate somebody. And my man Ralph says, hey, to his wife, hey, go save the baby. Out of everybody he's shooting, everybody taking cover, she gets up and goes to try to get him and get cooked. That's a send-off of the year, bro. Like, why you do that, man? Come on, man. We got to do better. We got different tactics. I know you want to save the baby, but do a different way. Don't just run blindly into where they're sniping and start that. So I really didn't, that was really bad writing for me, even though I understood why they had to do it to kind of kick off the whole thing, okay? Also, another thing that was kind of made up, you have like the dictatorship cousins, where I don't understand how they're all cousins and then they just grow up and just rule 3 different countries, Russia, England, and Germany. Like, it didn't make sense how they just got into that power. And then they got into the power and then they kind of hate each other. So storyline a little fishy. And you know me, man, it has to make sense. If you put it in your movie, does it make sense? I gotta fact check you. This movie was made, like I said, for 1902 and then 1914. They were doing certain things in 1914 I had to fact check. First thing, automatic guns. They used one in the movie, and the lady kind of had to explain, saying, hey, this is a new thing. It's an automatic weapon, pistols, and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, man. They didn't know anything about that. But the automatic weapon was in 1892. So it does check out. They might not have got the news, but it was invented before 1914, obviously. All right, that's one thing that's good. Parachutes. Parachutes were invented in 1783, way before planes. So they introduced a parachute to a person, and that's like, they act like that's the first time they ever seen it. Like, come on, man, the parachute's been invented a year and a half before you got there. So you do not get that off on me. Come on, man, we got to do better with that. President Wilson was the president in 1914, and that is correct. President Wilson was, I think he got elected in 1913. So they were accurate in the correct president and you'll see the movie what happens with the president. All right. One last thing. There was a plane, new planes. This plane was invented in 1903. So it does stay current with how they did have a plane in the movies, and they were using it, but because they're pretty wealthy, so they had kind of first dibs on it. So those are a couple fact check things that I had to make sure it was correct or not. Even though some of the story writing was wishy washy, I think the first movie, Kingsman, great writing on the villain, things that kind of seem kind of real compared to this one, but. For this movie, I'm going to rate it a 3.5 in storytelling from start to finish. It was kind of long. Like I said, it felt complete, but how we got there, I think the beginning and middle part was the most important piece for me that hit home. So storytelling, 3.5 out of 5. All right. Next category. Did I get what I bought? Now, this movie's $10 to $15. Like I said, it's in theaters. Usually this category says, okay, was I catfished, right? I didn't see, don't tell me I'm about to go watch Scream and it's a comedy, right? Like, they have to match up. Kingsman, I know that I was gonna get fighting, great cinematography, and hopefully a good storyline. But in this movie, it reversed on me. I actually got more than what I was looking for. We'll dive a little bit into the storytelling and the dynamic between the father and son. I got some great tips on, obviously if you're a father and you have a son and you guys lose your mother, that might change how you parent now. Now you're going to be overprotective. Now you're going to make sure he has everything, kind of coddle him, try to protect him. But in the kids' eyes, they're like, bro, like you're smothering me. Like, let me be me. I know one thing for sure, you cannot stop destiny. You can't stop it. And also it taught me, be careful what you wish for. That goes for everybody in this movie. You ask for something, you might get it. So I really enjoyed leaving the movies and taking those little tools to take with me and see that, hey, sometimes you got to get out of your own way. Even though it might be the worst case scenario, you might just have to let it in and become peace with it, even though it's not going to be, it's very serious, but you just have to learn how to cope with that pain. Also, war is nasty, man. They're doing some vicious things in here, man, in this movie. It shows, I really don't even want to say the good in war. It showed a lot of bad from different countries, how people stab you in the back, a lot of snakes and all that other stuff. So did I get what I bought? I'm going to say a 4.5 out of 5 for this category. I was highly impressed on writing down extra notes and extra nuggets that I learned from this. So appreciate that. Now, last category. Is it a must-see? I'm going to say it has spies, has twists and turns, has snakes, and I mean like how people act are snake-ish, not real snakes, right? Hella good fight scenes, about 2 or 3 solid fight scenes. Had me on the edge of my seat. Also, you get a Russian mystical freak, like dude's a witch or I don't know what he is, but he a freak, bro. This dude is nutty for real. You know what I'm talking about as soon as you watch the movie. Dude is a freak for real. Watch out for him. And one thing, the villain in this movie kind of brought back a little nostalgia, a good time of growing up watching cartoons and the villain's always in the shadows or mad at everybody, beating everybody up, killing everybody, but you really don't know who he is, right? So a little twist on that. So I enjoyed that. I think it's a must-see. I'm going to say a 4 out of 5 for me because I was going to watch it anyway, but I think with those little nuggets of did I get what I bought, cinematography, especially as it a must-see, it bumps it up for me. So must-see in this category is going to be a 4 out of 5. Now, that brings me to the total number. What does it get in a Cornbread movie review? Overall, Kingsman gets a 4 out of 5 from me. Yes. Check out my 2022 movie review. Like I said, I'm going to keep it all on one list until we get probably to the middle of the year when I have to start separating them by where they rank at. So hopefully that helps you, sways you to watch it or not watch it by seeing my rating. Now, as always, I'm going to give you a forgotten movie. Come on, man. Once again, if you're new to this channel, A Forgotten Movie is blatant as obvious. It's a movie that maybe you forgot, maybe you never heard of, or you did watch it, but you just got to double back and watch it again. So that movie today, ladies and gentlemen, is Lincoln Lawyer. Lincoln Lawyer came out in 2011. It is rated R. It has one of my probably top 10 actors. He was on a roll for me, man. I was really loving his movie streak. Matthew McConaughey. Come on, man. Now, this movie is basically a lawyer who, I'm not going to say he dabbles in the hood, meaning he represents those people who committing real crimes, right? But he's smart. He knows how to get them. He knows how to play the system. But this movie also has twists and turns, also has a little mystery aspect to him, a little revenge, a little get back. I know that's kind of the same thing, but you'll understand if you've seen this movie what I'm talking about. So that movie today is Lincoln Lawyer. Make sure you go check that out, man. It's a nice weekend. Holla at me, man. Once again, appreciate y'all for being back this week. I'm going to be back again next week. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing right in the comment box. And I'm Cornbread 1016. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I'm there too. So I love y'all. Holla at y'all again. Peace.